From the swamps of Louisiana, the Cajun Predator.
The day of the hairy freak, or the fat slob, is practically gone.
Let the party begin. I've got snacks.
Hey, look at us. We did it again. Another 7 days around the sun. Let me turn that up a little bit. Welcome to WCW Deep Cuts live every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern. That's right, but what can you do? There we go. Like I said, every Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, we all get together. Sound off? Is the sound off? Oh, you said sound off. I'm like, okay. Anyway, you threw me off there. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining me tonight. As always, every Tuesday, we get together to watch the forgotten television classics, quote unquote, from World Championship Wrestling in the 1990s. No Mercy, the master of subs. Thank you so much for subbing 7 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that a ton. Again, I never beg for subs, but they give me strength. They're like my Deca. I shoot them in my butthole. Not my butthole. It'd be weird if I shot them in my butthole. I shoot them in my butt cheek. I swear, in my butt cheek. And they give me strength. So anyway, hello, Brian Dermody, the man, the myth, the legend, assured outcomes, optimum vision, Sean Drox, hey, what's up? Refs as Wizards, hello, Brinticus Maximus, the Bam Dog, number 41. Who else we got here? I saw at least one newbie as I'm going through the Twitch deal. I see Brian. I saw Brian. I said that earlier. I see Jonathan Mayer in the chat. Hello, Jonathan. Brinticus Maximus. Who else? Come on. Assured Outcomes. Tandy Laptop. I hope you get to see as much as possible. Fire Pro Asapoki. And hello, Laid Back Not Idle. Welcome. First time in the chat. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate you being here. We're going to rush right into things. Deca in your butthole would give you hemorrhoid rage. Yes, Brian. Anyway, hey, CBJ fan. Yeah, that's Chris Colt. Dark Side of the Ring is awesome. Hello, Midnight Fowler. Let's get right into it. We got a lot of show. Still got the sponsor. If you're interested in reading the most well-researched book about wrestling and wrestling history, Nitro, with the Rise and Fall of WCW, Guy Evans's masterpiece. You can get it up there, the expanded edition, for 10% off if you use the codes WCW CUTS. Turn up my master volume a little bit. So always let me know if things are too high, too low, if you can't hear me, if you can't hear the show. Of course, Castrol GTX, the only motor oil you can buy in the grocery store. Paulie with a bit of stubble. Hasn't been sleeping very well lately, I would imagine. I think this is around that point where he's like, I really want to be a manager, but they won't let me, so I'm going to be sad about it.
We have a big man event today. It's going to be Dustin Rhodes and Ricky Morton taking on Larry Zbyszko and Terrence Taylor. And I understand you've got a special interview involving that matchup.
That's right. After what happened to them last week, I'm going to talk to them before they go to the ring.
Fans also
Paul's mullet here is very mighty. Very long, very strong. It looks even thicker in the top. Wonder if he was doing something at this point.
Dusty Rhodes will be having a very special program out here. Well, maybe you should call it
I love it how at this point in WCW TV history, like they were booking Paul Heyman and Missy Hyatt like they were Jim Ross's children. 26 out of 44. This reminds me, shout out to Wrestle Shop. Wrestle Shop got me a new shirt in the mail today. Sting and RoboCop. Capital Combat 90. He's sporting that bad boy a whole lot. Shout out to Wrestle Shop. Joe Cruz and Mike Sample, not samples, not plural, just one. Limit one sample. Hello, Viva La Fran.
Also, Nikita Koloff is here. Of course, he is hot on Mr. Luger's.
Yeah, gee, I wonder who wins this match.
I think it's the other way around. I think Luger's hot on
Mike Sample, for those of you who don't know, Mike Samples ended up working in Memphis for a bit. Ended up in Big Japan for a while. I believe he was like one of the first Big Japan Deathmatch champions. And as well, he was like the guy who made all the rings, the wrestling rings in the Midwest for like years.
SuperBrawl 91, exclusively on pay-per-view.
Well, I can't wait to hear that because I'm sure Nikita Koloff is sitting.
Sorry, I had to blow my nose. Hopefully the mute button worked.
I know how badly he wants to beat up the total package Lex Luger, who stole the.
And believe if yes, I believe CBJ fan, if you bet on Mike Samples and Joe Cruz, and they win this match, if you bet $1 on them, you will be able to pay off your house next week.
Situations involving these two would agree with,
I could definitely see Miley as Missy Hyatt in a biopic.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a title belt.
Like, wouldn't even have to really learn an accent. I think Mike Samples did light himself on fire in a match with Shadow WX. That sounds right.
Big Joe Cruz.
And Cruz is no pushover.
But yeah, there was a point where like every promoter in Indiana had a Mike Samples ring. They're good rings.
Ready to go fist and fire if that's what it takes. Collar and elbow tie by the man that is considered to be the #1 contender.
Joe Cruz looks like the guy. Like, what was that? I love Sting. I love Sting. He's the best. But no, Joe Cruz looks like when like an Outlaw Territory wanted to bring in like, you know, Dirty Rhodes was Dusty Rhodes. He was like. This guy was like Magnum PF, Magnum JC. He was the guy that they brought in that if they thought that if you squinted a bit, you'd think, oh, Magnum TA jumped. Yeah, Sting with the jump scare there a minute ago.
Cruz just did the Stinger splash. That was great.
Yeah, there's a little difference. He isn't Sting, and the effects were drastically different.
Hell yeah, Brenticus Maximus. I'm working on a water bottle as my alarm went off. What the hell? That is not going to happen anymore. Magnum BS. Yes, Brian. Look at Luger. I love how he walked in. A little pee-pee dance when he walked in.
In that human torture rack. The total package. So strong, so awesome.
So strong, so awesome. Luger got revenge on Joe Cruz for going to his hairdresser.
Oh, it certainly is because the Stinger and Lex Luger both.
Yeah, I thought it was cute, the little deal where he did the scorpion splash. Stinger splash. Sting no sold it. Only Sting can do the Stinger splash. Yeah, big upset for Sting and Lex Luger. Hopefully they can go to the stars based on this momentum. Best version of Sting's song ever. I don't think this is peak cut Luger. I think peak swole Luger was SuperBrawl 2 in 1992, where he showed up like so gassed that they had to apologize for it. I want everything in that catalog. Like, you'll know if I win the Powerball, because I'll just have all of that stuff on me at all times. Yeah, they didn't even give any of the other matches a chance to be the high performance moment of the night. That's right, Will Scott. Someone had to have done the Stinger Splash to Sting before. Oh yeah, I totally want the Z-Man shirt. That is a good point, John. The Steiners merch was pretty much just University of Michigan merchandise. But can you really, like, trademark an M?
Tonight, live on the Wrestling Hotline, when you take everybody's phone calls, maybe Tommy Rich can call up and, you know, you can interpret for him so that
Tommy
all
Rich,
human beings can
little boy mullet.
And making his way into the ring area, accompanied by Kevin Sullivan and Eddie Long from Halsted Street, Chicago, Illinois.
Oh yeah, this is One Man Gang and his like queer BDSM era.
Kevin Sullivan trying to keep the giant one-man gang in tow. Fans.
See, I wonder if the font is slightly different on those shirts, or at least enough to where the University of Michigan could be like, or more likely they just didn't care.
This broadcast of World Championship Wrestling exclusively on the Wrestling Hotline. So I hope you'll call tonight about 7:05 Eastern Time. And Wildfire knows that he is at a distinct disadvantage here against.
Did they ever explain what the black mascara was supposed to be?
Oh, he needs to come at the one-man gang with everything he got, because the gang has looked unstoppable since returning to World Championship Wrestling.
Was it supposed to be like burn marks? Was it supposed to be like his and his makeup? I forget. There was like they did explain why Teddy Long was with them, but I totally forget the explanation. But hey, Mass Team. Also, hey, referee Vinny Lax. Yeah, King on Monday. I mean, he had 300 pounds in Sting. Hey, don't eat the squid. Fashion, yeah, very. It ties the look together. It really does.
The one-man gang truly is more awesome than Tommy Rich could ever hope to be.
They certainly may say
Yes,
that,
Tommy Rich is acid-washed panties. Like, those look like they were. If you could buy your tights at a flea market, like he had his Granny Stitch's name on the butt.
a man that we've seen in some great battles right here in the last several weeks, as a matter of fact, on
Going for
TBS.
gasps.
He's overcome a bad leg. He's overcome a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
you do the
obstacles.
research, John,
This is
because
one obstacle that I'm not so sure that any one
yeah,
man
they
can
have.
sustain.
No, because he's never
If they didn't get sued and they had a case, it was likely because it was just, oh, it's wrestling, nobody cares.
Diverting the
You know?
attention
Like that always
of
happens.
Fire Rich, while Kevin Sullivan
Oh,
is the referee, and that is
Poor
the
Tommy Rich.
747. What a dynamic move.
The winner of the match, the one-man gang.
man, if there's a high school football player that looks like One Man Gang,
break him in half.
how many times did he fail, Troy?
Them trying to take advantage of the junkyard dog in the danger zone.
OMG is definitely one of those dudes that's like probably 20 something here and looks like he's 50.
A 300-pounder himself, but it's Sullivan from behind.
And Sullivan's look here.
The dog, they're gonna finish him off too. Wow.
Oh, 747 of JYD.
Hey, Drugs.
Rich is hurt.
Welcome.
Junkyard dog is hurt.
Just in time for Kevin Sullivan with his hair all crazy, wearing mascara. I could see it, Vinny, that One Man Gang looks a bit like Lyle Alzado facially. Brian, One Man Gang had one of those exploding cigars from the Warner Brothers cartoons. Here's the lazy version of the last commercial we just saw.
The countdown continues to the biggest wrestling event of the year, SuperBrawl Sunday.
Hell yeah.
Pressure mounts, tempers
Super Bowl Saturday?
It demands her right to enter the men's locker
Shirt's
room.
too tight. Come
Should she
on.
be allowed to report
Billy.
freely from the superstar's inner sanctum, or should she be banned forever? Tell us what you think. And
Should we kill Missy Hyatt? Live on
You could
pay-per-view.
win not one but two GMC Jimmy trucks, one of 5 Fisher
That seems like...
Campers, one of 1,000
Why are you giving away 2
WCW
cars?
glasses. Send your
Why does one person need both those cars?
opinion to
Spread it out a bit. Hey, basketball adults. OMG's first encounter with a barrel fire. I loved Dynasty, Refs as Wizards. I thought that Will Ospreay Bryan Danielson match was a hoot and a half. Great. The women in locker rooms is a controversy. Imagine Caitlin Clark coming up in the show. Lady dribbling a basketball? That's another good point. It's like, grand prize is 2 trucks, second prize, sunglasses, or a camera.
The U.S. Tag Team Championship goes up for grabs. The Young Pistols facing the fabulous Freebirds.
Michael Hayes in that graphic cannot hurt you. Why is Arn falling asleep in his graphic? Wake him up. Dan Spivey's certainly awake. Larry is on a cruise boat.
2 more matches have been signed in a stretcher match.
I love how they went through the effort to like animate a fake control room, because I'm sure Turner wouldn't let Gordon just do it in theirs like the WWF did.
In addition to this, the World Tag Team Championship goes on the line.
Nobody in either of those graphics is looking in the same direction.
Both tag teams right now.
SuperBrawl premier matchups. The Steiners, the Stinger, and
The
myself.
living legend Big Josh.
I know what it's like to wrestle against somebody you just can't stand. Well, I kind of like the Steiners, but I'm looking forward to getting in the ring.
Look at that chain on Luger.
Sting and Lex, don't make a big
Yeah,
mistake.
good on Gordon for being able to read that tiny print.
When we get in the ring, we ain't gonna be partners, we ain't gonna be buddies, and we ain't gonna be
You're gonna be
friends.
partners.
Be my
That
brothers.
Sid
One,
match,
two,
Will Scott, barely happens. Sid just kind of like leaves. It's supposed to be a stretcher match. Like he just like gets pinned and walks out. Because he jumped to the WWF like right after. Put in his notice.
Right now. Call your local cable operator and order SuperBrawl.
I can see that, John. I can definitely see a tinge of the Razor logo.
On Sunday, May 19th. And I'll be back next week with the biggest news yet.
The talking is done.
Biggest news
Time
yet.
to act is now. Bring the action of World
He
Championship
performed
Wrestling
necromancy.
to your door by subscribing to the
Abraham
Wrestling
Lincoln will
Wrap-Up.
personally
And now
kill
get
Missy
a
Hyatt.
subscription to wrestling's most informative news monthly for just $24.95. That's more than 50% off.
See, I kind of like the fact that Sting and Luger, they teamed so much, but they never had a team name. I don't know, like, I kind of got a kick out of it. Yeah, May 19th.
To charge by Visa or MasterCard, or send your check or money order to
It
the
is
Wrestling
crazy. We used to
Wrap-Up.
just like call somebody on the phone and be like, okay, here's our credit card number.
At 404 pounds,
Uh-oh.
Van Vader. And his opponent from Ridgedale, Ohio, at 300 pounds.
Oh, do not touch that
What
man.
a dynamic announcement by Gordon Soley.
See, it's cool that he's wearing the headgear in like center stage where you can see the eyes light up. I feel like that was harder to see in like the bigger arenas.
The Steiner Brothers.
Hey, that one Cameron Zebra, welcome.
And in a stretcher match,
Yeah, this is an early Vader on TV splash. Like he debuted in like 1990, but like he kind of bailed right after. Oh, love everybody selling that. And then he came back for this run, and then he left again. And then he came back full time in like mid '92.
He's a man that wants to stand the Lariat Hansen. Anytime, any place, anywhere.
Listen, I've
Ladies and gentlemen, are you
before I found my new gig, I did once consider just becoming like a call center scam guy within my own house and just calling all the old people I knew to get like Amazon gift cards because they'll fall for it.
on one with Big Sid Vicious in a stretcher match?
Hey, Fanatic Gamer, yeah, who's the man? Either Vader or Nick Gage. Yes, I do have this figure. One of the cooler Mattel figures. Hey, Speedy, yep, Vader was in and out.
That's just 2 more reasons.
If Vader's here, Hanson. Dude, it is the bad faith arguers that go online. AEW is bringing over the Japanese, blah, blah, blah. WCW straight up did a pay-per-view match between Vader and Stan Hansen because of the incident where Stan Hansen knocked his eye out. And they couldn't even air the thing on TV. It was too violent. Yeah, there was an agreement that Vader could go back and forth. But in like mid-92, WCW offered him like really good money to stay.
At 7 o'clock. Big Van Vader, so dominant, he's inferring he may go up to the top rope.
Oh, there's no way a 400-pounder can go the top rope.
I love the YouTube channels where, oh shoot, flying bus, where dudes like use the voice modulators to like mess with scammers.
Stan Hansen, Big Van Vader. That rematch is signed.
The winner of the match, Big
Not quite a peak Vader squash, but I feel like this is the only run where he did the flying like body attack. Yeah, it is wild, that clip of his eye coming out. And I guess he used to like, I listened to a few episodes of that Boy Meets World podcast. I guess he would just go around the set of Boy Meets World talking to everybody about that incident. And, like, everybody be talking about their other acting gigs. And Vader would be like, yeah, in Japan one time my eye came out of my head. Also, for a stock song, like a song that was definitely not recorded for Vader, that's a perfect song for Vader. Yeah, pretty much just like a flying gut. The flying bus, I call it.
Certainly not Gordon Soley. Only Paulie Dangerously could land this exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, 3 of the 4 horsemen.
And one time in Germany, it ripped a guy's ear off. Yeah. This music sucks. Yeah, this is definitely peak Jim Herd trying to fuck with Flair era. This song is horrible. Like, is Ric Flair scoring the winning touchdown at the end of Little Giants?
Running in the fast lane, I'm standing with AA Arn Anderson, who at SuperBrawl, the greatest pay-per-view of all time, will defend the TV title against beautiful Bobby. Barry Windham, who's beaten each and every opponent for the last
So, at this time, it was kind of weird. WCW didn't... Like, this was kind of the A show, Will Scott, but also Worldwide was also the main show because syndication was so strong compared to cable at this point. So it's like Worldwide had half the main angles, and World Championship Wrestling Saturday Night had the other half. Is that Barry Windham or Dick the Bruiser? Oh, if he starts talking like this. Dude, my mom, she only knows like Dick the Bruiser, Hulk Hogan, and she doesn't know her by name, but she really likes Willow Nightingale now. Yeah, this ain't a good Flair haircut. I would say the worst Flair haircut is like after they did the Vince Russo haircut angle and he did the spikes up front, like he was trying to join Sum 41. Like, that's rough.
That you're gonna get by Tatsumi Fujinami. So my question, sir, to you is this: what
Poor Arn.
SuperBrawl?
Can't see him at all.
Well, when you're one of the 4 horsemen, when you're Ric Flair, Arn Anderson, or Barry Windham, we can.
Arn with his cheaters. Look at those glasses.
Now why don't you get around?
Prescription must be you're fucking blind. John. Zachary Ty Flair.
For a title shot after SuperBrawl. My friend, the only real great wrestlers in my mind.
Yeah, this is right. This is when they did the deal, yeah, in Japan, where Fujinami kind of sort of won the world title, and then they rematched it in America. And just the way they went about it, nobody cared. Arn and the Prescription Dahmers. Let's get Arn Anderson like going as like a weird retro heartthrob like Dahmer was a couple years ago. Arn and Barry the Bloodshot Brothers. Look at Barry back there with the tip of the sunglasses in his mouth. Like, I think Sid had already put in his notice at this point. Wasn't coming to TV. Where he was like slowing down.
Well, we're gonna go back to the ring, but first, check this out.
He should have pulled out a pair of sunglasses and put the tip in his mouth like Barry Windham. Very enlightening. 1-900-288-4FUN? That's a sex hotline, you guys. Sexy signals in your area. Why? Every time they cut to that shot, it looks like this is a hostage victim. We don't know that Arn Anderson has killed less people than Jeffrey Dahmer, referee Vinnie Lex. We don't know that. That's what they certainly made it look like. You get to have phone. Why is Rob Morgan just? Why did he steal Kevin Sullivan's suspenders? He has tights on. I have no idea what that thing is. They already had a hotline. Why did they need a second hotline? Is the hotline not fun? The fan line for fun. Rob Morgan is the guy that goes around small town telling people that he either is Rick Rude or he's like Rick Rude's cousin.
Ric Flair looked kind of perturbed, didn't he?
Well, why didn't you ask him the question that you didn't have the nerve to ask? Outside goes Rob Morgan.
Yeah, the hotline's for the serious stuff. People getting fired, speculation about stuff going on with titles. The fun line, where you get to find out who farts in the locker room. Talk sexy with Joey Mags. He looks like a phone sex guy. Either end.
The ensuing matchup in the Meadowlands, for example.
What was going on in the E? Yeah, Hogan had just gotten the belt back from Sergeant Slaughter. They were going around the horn doing the Desert Storm matches at the house shows. Like, what else was going on? This is right around the time they started, I think, doing Warrior Undertaker angles, too. Yes, there was the time on the WCW Hotline that me and Jade teased Ric Flair's death. And it ended up being, frickin', what's his face? Jerry Blackwell. Yeah, I did do a deep cut on it. Again, every Monday and Thursday, or every Monday and Wednesday, sorry. Put up a new WCW Deep Cut short where I cover a obscure gimmick or news story or storyline throughout WCW's history. Go subscribe to me on YouTube. They're up every Monday and Wednesday. Slaughter was already a heel. But he's getting ready to they're getting ready to head into the SummerSlam a few months later where they did the match in hell.
At 7:05 Eastern on the hotline.
Luger
and Koloff must settle it for the U.S. title.
I read that too fast that I thought you said that Joel Osteen was involved in the Hogan Slaughter main event, like he was like in the front row or the referee or something. Yes, Midnight Fowler. I think by like the fall, Slaughter wanted his country back.
Morgan into the ropes and absolutely decapitating him with the Russian sickle. Count the 3, count the 300, count the 3,000, and now.
And this is also it's not this run, but the next Nikita run in '92 is when he like denounces being an evil Soviet, mostly because the Cold War is over. But he starts being announced as being from Lithuania.
That you can expect to face disciplinary action for destroying the United States heavyweight championship belt against the ring post. It's going to cost you some money.
Did he actually destroy it? It looks like that stayed pretty good.
What is your motivation for the United States title? Is it to win the championship, or is it to end the career of Lex Luger?
Did he say, "Oh, Bush to 9/11"? That's what I heard. Hey, Cajun Jungle Tigre. Good evening. Welcome.
Everybody would be happy, but it's not.
It is amazing that Nikita Koloff walked around for like over a decade doing that voice in public, thinking he was fooling people into like he was really Russian.
You are in the greatest ship I have ever seen you in. And you, Lex Luger.
You, Lex Luger.
present
of
a
big
great challenge to
pecs.
Nikita Koloff, and I love a challenge. And you see there is a question burning deep inside me.
Why does he keep pointing at his boobs?
World heavyweight champion. What do you see? I need.
Yeah, Nikita's a church guy. He had a reality show a couple years ago where I think he was like trying to get his daughter to not have sex. It was really weird.
And fans, our broadcast is far from over as well. We'll be right back. Six-man tag team action is still to come on TBS.
You little boy robot, you. Jim Ross. That's about as much as they'll promote main event on the show. Hey, we have a show tomorrow. 6:05. Hell yeah. Southern boys and a northern man. He had to have. It's a good point. He had to have wrecked his voice doing that accent for so long. Because again, he would do it in public. He would do it away from the ring. Like he tried to convince people he was really freaking Russian.
Signed to defend the television championship of the world against beautiful Bobby. Morton and Dangerous Dan Spivey and Big Josh here will take on Larry Zbyszko.
I've heard Nikita's a sweetheart. Like he I remember he like married Jonathan Gresham and Jordan Grace at a convention at like 3 a.m. like in their hotel room. I'm like, bless your heart for being willing to do that. Because a couple wrestlers got drunk. I think the Smoking Guns would win the match, Masked Heel. I think the Machine Guns would be the standouts, and I think the Young Pistols would do the most gun stuff. Brian. Big Josh and the Young Pistols showing that the world that Hellfolk and Crackers can coexist.
And they are really training hard, doing a lot of road work. They're preparing for a long, grueling match with the Freebirds. They're studying a lot of tape extensively since Big Daddy Dink and Diamond Dallas Page have been involved with the Birds. One of the members of Magnum Force, that must be Rick of the Magnum Force.
Rick.
Else he's got somebody else's tights on.
Rick of the Magnum Force. His tights do just say Rick. Magnum Force Rick? Oh shit! He got nailed. That Magnum Force Steve? Chuck Coates, friend of the account.
What do you mean by that, smart Aleck? Well, what do you mean by he's a log roller? Didn't you ever see a log rolling competition? No. Well, that's a men's thing. I'm sorry. You wouldn't know anything about that.
Oh, Jim Ross. Oh,
Big
Jim.
Josh and Larry Zbyszko. May 19th, and that big pay-per-view is going to, without a doubt, fans, I can tell you, it's going to be the greatest pay-per-view.
Yeah, you know how they built half the matches on this pay-per-view? They would just go, hey, these guys are wrestling. Like, these days we're spoiled. We need these long storylines. Back in the day, it was just like, oh, these guys are going to wrestle. No big deal. Hey, Boxes with the God. Yeah, Magnum Force Nash. Hey, Vans. Welcome. Hello. Watching some 1991 WCW. So many mullets. 5 out of 6 mullets. Look at the back knee on Steve Armstrong. Jeez. Another guy with a lot of back knee is Matt Cardona. Saw him live a few weeks ago, and that dude's back knee is gross. There's both a lot of it, and it looked like it was all opening up. The artist formerly known as Elias also had a lot of back knee. He was going way down his back. Like the furthest down someone's back I've ever seen back knee go. Down to like his waistline. Yeah, man, if we had HD in the 90s, wouldn't even need drug testing. That's right, Boxes. God. Rick, who's the other one? Speedy. Rick and Speedy. Love the sashes on them. Oh, you're making me feel old, Vance. I was 3 turning 4. El Dandy, I've heard things about El Dandy.
And here comes the big gummy as he absolutely manhandles Chuck.
Did I think they called him the Big Gummy for a minute? Like he was a tall THC candy? Imagine Big Josh weed gummies.
Big Josh showing tremendous strength here.
Oh, geez, Chuck Coe, take that one.
Randy Anderson is kind of hidden in there like a bunch of redwood trees.
He's going for the big butt drop.
The big butt drop. Just call it what it is, Paul. Big butt drop. There we go.
The winners of the event, the team of Big Josh and the Young Pistols.
Trace is like, there, hard cam. Congratulations, you've graduated NXT. 13, Sean. It's his negative number. Yeah, I am 36. Turned 37 in August. I feel every second of 50. My knee is now giving me random problems. So, I'm falling apart. Big Josh and Big Blotch. Good replay, just sitting on a man. Their boxes with God 1 year older than me. I feel like we're taking like odds on numbers. Oh, I thought that was Dustin Rhodes and Medusa. That's Ricky Morton. Oh well, happy if I don't see you before then, Vance. Happy birthday next week. 28. I would kill to be 28.
Join forces with your York Foundation. Now standing next to me is a man I respect just as much as my father.
Yeah, that's the no fun hotline.
We found out what kind of wrestlers Larry Sabisco, Terry Taylor, what the whole York Foundation is about. You see, I've been down many highways.
Medusa and Shiner.
All the dreams that you've been banking on, you're gonna see them slowly start fading away. Because we don't care what it takes. If you want to wrestle like that, that's
like Ricky definitely looks like a middle-aged woman in this era getting dressed up to go to her office job.
Alright, now let's go to the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, imagine if somebody went to like the car store, the auto shop. Like, I need some motor oil. I saw Big Josh sit on a guy. I was inspired. Rockin' Ricky something or other. I miss glitter, like the glitter paint, like the writing. I miss that. We get glitter paint sometimes, but not enough anymore in signs. Anymore, we just get people's heads, those big heads, monster heads, whatever they are. Those suck. That's bullshit that he's not Lawrence Zbyszko. I was gonna say that's not Larry Zbyszko. I saw Larry Zbyszko shirtless last week on this stream. That's not Larry Zbyszko. Indianapolis, Indiana. I was there last week. Yeah, the Farmers call us. I'm sure it's the same building they ran for Dynamite.
There you see him, not only a legend, but a legend slayer, Larry Zbyszko. A man with
Nice one, Mox of the God.
He has retired more great athletes. He has gone into the ring against more people with illustrious backgrounds.
It is wild that both members of the babyface team are still wrestling and having good matches. Holding an iPad. That'd be nuts if Terry Runnels was the one person with time travel technology.
He's not there yet. He will be one day, I'm sure, because he's a legend and he'll earn his wings. Terrence Taylor, Zbyszko, Ms. York.
He should have Fire Pro Speak. They would have shown up better on TV.
That was cheap. It was cheap, but it was effective. And Terrence Taylor has enough style and grace and class not to grant an interview to someone like Missy Hyatt. Great move there by Ricky Morton.
The Japanese arm drag, which many newsletters back in the day would note, was never called that in Japan. Never called it arm drag. Because we never saw it. Oh, that's mean, Adam. I thought Terry Taylor was good. He's a stooge. And he, according to that lawsuit that came out in 2000, he's a real piece of work. He was good. Larry Zbyszko. I mean, the Regal matches were good. Okay, I'll give him that. The Regal matches in '94 were good.
Larry Zbyszko and Terrence Taylor. Why must you always be facetious here on TBS? What's your problem anyway?
That would be brilliant, Nest Heel. The York Foundation gimmick where the manager uses AI. Oh, that'd be so good.
He doesn't want to go fist here with Dustin Rhodes. Dustin's got that reach advantage on it.
Yeah, but this isn't boxing. This is
like, and they would train, and then like they'd wrestle an enhancement guy who would have like a thumb coming out of his forehead, or like 7 fingers.
Hey, maybe Dustin's daddy, Dusty Rhodes, would like to conduct an interview with Ric Flair and see
Or to get someone who's like you shouldn't view on Twitter. Are you talking about Terry Taylor, Larry Zbyszko? Dustin is. Dustin's. He is proof that life is shades of gray. Because he says some real insightful, cool, cultured, evolved stuff. And then he follows some of the biggest pieces of trash on the face of the planet. And the alt-right, so... Again, shades of gray, everybody. Shades of gray. Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor does not have Twitter. Because if he had Twitter, he would be eviscerated on a daily basis. Whereas Larry Zbyszko probably just types on Facebook all day. That is Fonzie reffing. He was El Gigante's handler at this point.
And Morton in a near fall situation there. Controlling Zbyszko with that headlock. There's a tag made. Terrence Taylor and Larry Zbyszko making the exchange.
You know, I wonder if Larry Zbyszko is like a Power Ranger putty. Like, and you slap him on the butt and he like explodes. Give him a good game.
Thank you very much for acknowledging Larry Zbyszko for what he is, a living legend.
Well, that's what it says on the
20 glorious years. Yes, Fonzie was El Gigante's Tim White. Thankfully, WCW did not do vignettes where Bill Alfonso blew his brains out. That's awesome. Jonathan Fonzie autographed his ticket the night Taz beat Mike Awesome in Indy. That's dope. Very cool. I've heard Fonzie's like so sweet now. Like he works all those AIW shows. Oh, John, just you wait. I have some news for you here in about 10-15 minutes. That might make you either happy or real sad. So wait till the end of this first episode. I got some news for you along those lines.
Me. Did you have any doubt?
Right hand by Taylor. Another right hand. And Morton fires up. Boy, Taylor has become so vicious in recent weeks.
Oh, like pile driver, no power bomb. Thankfully, he did not kill him with that. Yeah, Fonzie, I've heard, is really good with like the AIW young guys. Like he does all of their shows.
Tomorrow night. Don't forget 6:05, the main event. Flying Brian and El Gigante take on Arn Anderson and Barry Windham. You can see it exclusively here on.
Yeah, it's a shame Tandy's not here. I hope you're able to watch. You're watching Tandy, even though you're not in the chat. AEW was fun, a lot of fun. Kendrick Tigre, Noli had a blast. For those of you who did not see, toward the end of Dynamite, Noli was escorted backstage to meet various folks. Got to hang out with Will Ospreay for like 10 minutes after the Claudio match. Will could not have been like nicer. He had a really hard match. Like Claudio really worked really hard. He could have been like, oh no, I don't want people. Ospreay like sat and talked with him. Talked about how he's gonna be a wrestler someday. They're gonna wrestle together. Noli also met Tony Khan. Some of you know about this. He walked up to Tony Khan as he was producing that final segment with Swerve and Joe. and he introduced himself. And as Tony's like on headsets trying to produce, Noli goes, "I'm gonna be your world champion someday." Like, and Tony goes, "I look forward to that." And then Noli, being Noli, goes up. He's still talking to a billionaire guy who owns multiple sports teams, and he goes, "You're gonna pay me $30,000 in a Lambo." And Tony just laughs. Yeah, Noli got to meet like Kyle Fletcher, Takeshita, Swerve, Nana. I've taught Noli the little dead fish handshake. I've also taught him the little pinky that some guys do, like when you're a real brother. Now he's backstage for like a half hour during the end of Dynamite and the beginning of ROH. Noli's, I'm telling you, he's got so much confidence. Like he will tell you he's gonna be the AEW World Champion someday. He walked up to Tony Khan and said, "I'm gonna be your world champion." He's absolutely sure of it. And if that's what he wants, boy, there's no rooting against him.
Dustin Rhodes with those elbows and those fists putting down Terrence Taylor and Larry Zbyszko.
Yeah, but it's still 1 man against 2, and there's Zbyszko.
It's funny because a couple of the indie guys that were doing the security during the Swerve Joe segment, a couple of buddies of mine texted me the next day. "Is he working here now? Is he like Brody Jr.?" I'm like, no, but it's nice that you think that. Yeah, Nick Wayne. I mean, Ospreay's gonna be 40 by the time he's 20, so that could happen. It's got to be pretty soon after this, Cajun Jungle Tigre, that Ricky Morton joins. I think it's like maybe a week or two after. We're just about out of time. All right, here's what we're watching Sunday on Off the Grid.
Now, Paul, I can understand this overwhelming response to a certain extent because, well, I've had a few crushes myself.
Yeah, Sunday, we're going back to the AWF. Anybody else got audio? I might have the wrong ear, but I think this is a one channel. There we go. I think. There we go. So yeah, Sunday we'll be watching the AWF. Watching a few episodes of towards the end of their first season, as they called it. My pleasure. We watched a lot of AWF when I was trying to get the YouTube stuff all straightened out. Alright, you got audio. Yeah, I think it's just my earbuds were being messy. I got it fixed now.
Today on TBS, our main event will be a big grudge match. Flying Brian will take on Barry Windham. Plus, we're going to take a look.
And we're live, pal. And if Chris Jericho's still wrestling, when Noli is able to be signed as a trained wrestler someday. First off, he's screwed because somebody's going to look up all my tweets about Chris Jericho and he'll get buried in the locker room. Paul has to have hair plugs here. Because his hair was not this thick during the original Midnight Express run in '89. Paul is absolutely zooted, yes. Also, it's also crazy. All three of these people are still active in wrestling. Like, and Paul's at the top level of the industry. What was that noise? Was his stomach growling? Oh, jeez. Imagine how many sad Japanese women have heard that on top of them. With their hair looking like that, many a night. Jeremy Paulie is rocking a Jeremy Piven, yes. See it. But, yeah, no, they put a microphone inside of the headset. But the problem is the headset is like so close to his mouth. It just sounds like this. My head's gonna fart. My head's gonna fart. Yeah, we got Gary Michael Capetta. That means it's a good show.
He's in big trouble here. Whoa!
Wow. Yeah, I love when wrestlers do that sell when like somebody tough comes out, when like you didn't know who you signed up to wrestle. Oh, he got steam in his face. The Vader was up doing the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost over a cling smash. Thank you for the Prime sub. Again, more Deca going in my butt cheek, not my butthole. There's the sound. I don't know why it went off so late. Are you? Are you sure? You like your whip steamed?
Hovers right around that 400-pound mark. You know, I don't care if it's tonight in St. Louis, Missouri, or tomorrow in Chicago, Illinois.
That is a good point, Spooky. Why haven't there been any bootleggers that have made Vader headset bongs? I feel like that would be like a no-brainer. Like, I don't know how to make that, so I'd be more than happy to give somebody the idea to make like all the money.
But he looks very macho in pink, doesn't he?
That's a good point. Vinny Lax is our resident referee, so you would know you can't start a match on the outside of the ring.
Shoving Rogers back in the ring. Vader, of course, has signed a
I always love when you can tell WCW rented a ring from just some rando, and like none of the ropes or the turnbuckle pads match. Like the ropes are kind of the colors they would use, but there's like a random white turnbuckle pad on at least one side. Yeah, there's 3 blue over there. Like 3 whites. That's like not a thing WCW would do. Peter Crawford. That'd be dope.
Paul, he's a very agile big man.
Oh, he most certainly is. I mean, the guy moves like a cat. Now look at this.
Just a piece of shit. Big fat piece of shit for men. I love that. Good one, John. Yeah, this ring. Oh, jeez. He wanted Rip to catch him with that one. Jeez. This is my favorite ring apron of all time. I went to a house show in 1997 and they still had that apron. It's the most wrinkled ring apron I had ever seen, but they still use that apron in 97.
The final wrestling card ever at the Kiel Auditorium in St. Louis, and it's going to be a great card, and then along comes this jerk, this 400-pound bully, to ruin it all.
Fans, when we come back, he is 7'7", 454, and he will wrestle Sid Vicious in a stretcher match at SuperBrawl. He's El Gigante.
Now we're playing with power. Ooh, ooh. Frappolino, thank you for the Prime sub. I appreciate that. You guys are the best. The Ironic Eric Fontaine fan club, aka the chat, you're all the best. You're the heroes. Indianapolis was that house show. And it was like an A-list house show. Like, main event was Hogan Luger. Like, Flair and Hennig was on the show. It was either Flair and... No, it was Flair and Jarrett. I think Hennig only did Chicago that weekend. We had, like, Eddie against Malenko. We had Ultimo Dragon against Jericho.
Inside your smooth-running engine is a torture chamber. And under these grueling conditions,
I'm not surprised. Some of these WCW rings are still around.
viscosity breakdown. Castrol, the only leading motor oil that provides maximum protection against viscosity and
Therapy, thank you so much for gifting the subs. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. We have a hype train going on. How much does Amazon give me for a Prime sub? I think it's like $5, I want to say. Like, I think it's a little less than half, whatever half is. I never actually look at the breakdowns when they pay me. I'm like, money please. It was at Market Square Arena, Jonathan. Yes, it was. I think that was the only show I saw at Market Square Arena, because I think by the time the WWF came in 2000, which was the next show I saw, I think they had moved to Conseco, or maybe the January 2000 show was the last one I saw at Market Square. I only saw one basketball game at Market Square, and it was the game where the Pacers set the league record for the lowest single game score in a regular season game. It was like pathetic.
The aggressor, the build-up, the battle.
All right, Adam, have a good one.
Presents Desert Storm. The war begins. A compelling story, extraordinary leaders, diplomatic ploys. You'll want to collect this exciting.
Right, 250 a sub. Yeah, see, again, I'm bad at this Twitch thing. I just like doing the shows. I never look at the breakdown of the money. They could be screwing me for all I know. Argentina? Like RJ City, Tina? Dante. Desert Storm was a terrible pay-per-view. Yeah, the worst. Brian Armstrong, the Road Dogg, was all over it. Paul Lee.
Where's the size 22 shoe? He's going to try to walk all over Big Sid Vicious with those big 22 shoes because exclusively on pay.
Very kind, Vinny, thank you. At least, unless you're talking about Paul Lee. And Paul Lee, I'm sure, is fine. Yeah, I didn't get to go to Buried Alive, Mass Teal. I really wanted to. My dad would not budge. Paul Lee dangerously. The other thing is they had a Paul E, they had a Paul Lee, they had multiple Nature Boys. I'm pretty sure there was also an enhancement guy around this time named Stanley.
And when I say this kid's in big trouble, I ain't talking about the blonde. I'm talking about the young jerk from Argentina, the so-called giant. Because he's going to step into the ring at SuperBrawl with the real giant, Sid Vicious.
Oh, he hit him with a big knee. He's so tall that he could bend his knee and still get it up that high. What pay-per-views have I been to? I'm trying to think. It was Great American Bash 06, the infamous elevated liver enzymes show where like half the roster got taken off the pay-per-view that weekend. Remember there were some kids sitting next to us that we were like, I know you love Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley's not going to be here tonight. And this kid yelled at me and said the internet was fake. And then sure enough, Bobby Lashley was taken off the pay-per-view. I think what other... I was not at the Survivor Series in 12 where they did the Shield thing. I was not there for that. I tried to go, couldn't make it work. I've been to a number of AEW pay-per-views though. Been to I think 2 or I've been the first, not All In, the first All Out. I was there, and then the one they went back after lockdown with Punk and Darby and like Danielson's debut. I was there for that, and then I was at All Out this past year, and I was at that first Revolution where they did Pac against Orange Cassidy. That was really good, and that Young Bucks against Hangman and Omega match that like broke everyone's brains. The big guy's El Gigante. Unless you mean Gordon Solie. He's a pretty big guy.
We had a very special announcement upcoming for this week. It's my pleasure to announce at this time that Tatsumi Fujinami and Ric Flair will collide on the exclusive SuperBrawl pay-per-view.
Very cool mass deal. Yeah, WWE, I mean, it's always a fun time, even if just to like be in awe of the production. Oh, I forgot I was at Fastlane this past year.
This match will take place pitting these two
where
champions against each other.
They did Rollins and Nakamura in a Last Man Standing.
And then in a special Thunderdoom 91.
Thunderdoom, get it? Because the tag team is named Doom.
Going up against 4-time All-American Ron Simmons. Teddy Long, however, will be suspended above that steel cage in his own private steel cage. Also,
all right, Fapolino. Catch you later. Good luck to whichever team you like.
Here are their comments.
Windham, it's kind of ironic. We're going to tape this match at SuperBrawl. Considering the miles of tape I had to use to keep my shoulder together. Considering the countless time I reviewed the videotape.
Brian, they have a microphone above you. You don't have to yell, buddy.
You made it personal. I'm going to make it ugly.
Brian Pillman, you're going to get a taste.
Yeah, we're lucky because I live right in between Chicago and Indianapolis. So we got a lot of shows that come around.
Better be prepared for the beating of your life.
Barry Windham, not drunk at all, wearing the darkest sunglasses.
Individual who was responsible for his earlier injury. Now, in
That's
addition
cool,
to this,
Speedy.
we will be seeing in St. Petersburg at the Bayfront Center, Lex Luger and Sting taking on the Steiner Brothers for the World Tag Team Championship. In a stretcher match, a battle of the giants. El Gigante, 7 feet 7
Yeah,
inches
he's
tall,
hungover. Those bright lights.
Going up against Big Sid Vicious. The only way you
I love how El Gigante's little graphic makes it look like he's attacking the camera.
And then you will see the young
Yeah, very creepy Michael Hayes.
The U.S. Tag Team Championship is on the line. And it will be Ricky Morton.
I used to live in a town like that, D. McCarr. I grew up in a town like that called Roachdale.
From the Northwest takes on the living legend Larry Zbyszko. And of course it will be
Again, Arn.
beautiful Bobby taking on
This week they at least wised up. Arn looked like he was falling asleep, so they just took the graphic off the screen.
Anderson, everybody knows you're a great title holder. Everybody knows you're a great wrestler. But I got to say this to you, my friend. I've been working out, training hard to try to get myself a major title.
Poor Bobby.
Arn Anderson, I'm going to come off the top on you with a leg drop, and I'm going to get myself a major title. It's going to be the World TV title. In the heat of
Bobby just came off like he was reading a list.
They said we've always
Like they wrote down the bullet points and he's just going through them one by one.
Take a gut check. You're coming for what I own, not the horseman, what I own. And I will destroy any man who tries to take what I've got.
What I got is this itty bitty necklace. Look at this thing, it's so pretty.
The World Television Championship is on the line. In addition, we will be seeing the natural Dustin.
Hope I don't get a copyright ding for that little tiny window of New Japan footage playing behind Gordon's head.
York and Mr. Hughes in Terrence Taylor's corner.
Yeah, Arn Anderson did all of his aging in like 7 months in 1982. I love they couldn't even ask Nikita, hey, take your shirt off so you look like all big and tough. No, he has to wear his Hawaiian shirt. Oh yeah, buy the pay-per-view so you can watch all these interviews we're gonna do.
This and much more is upcoming on the 19th of May, exclusively on pay-per-view. May I suggest you call your cable operator now and place your order for SuperBrawl 91. May 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern.
Also, that hype chain like wrecked my chat window, so I'm like way behind. So that's why I keep looking down at my phone, because my phone's up to date with you guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest
Pay-per-view.
Championship Wrestling. It is set for one fall. Introducing first from
Money for nothing, bumping for free. And I really hope Dustin still has that vest somewhere. It'd be a lot of fun if he just wore it for a match on like Dynamite.
Chicago, Illinois, Magnum Force number 2.
Wasn't he Rick? Wasn't he Magnum Force Rick? Like on the last episode? Now they took his name. He's just number 2. Gary better rules. To me he's the gold standard. I like him even better than Finkel.
And Ric Flair, Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami in the return match for the world title. Simmons and Reed in the lights out steel cage match.
Magnum Force 3 was probably like the weed dealer in the crowd.
You get it? Because they're both teams. Remember the team called Doom? Thunder. You get it? It's a good one, isn't it?
Hip lock takeover by Dustin Rhodes, a young man that in recent weeks has certainly had some very impressive victories on this broadcast.
And I'm sure he's going to continue to rack up a lot of victories right up until Sunday.
Sorry guys, I'm having earbud issues.
Into the ring at SuperBrawl exclusively on pay-per-view.
The reverse Wild Samoans, they were numbered and then they got names.
A counter move by Dustin and the big kid from Austin, Texas with a drop kick.
It's Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. You know why he's the dragon. I always love when I just hold a guy's arm. Painful.
Fall to Dustin Rhodes. And last week, tremendous tag team action between
that is Bill Alfonso.
Morton,
Bill Alfonso, master referee and translator for El Gigante.
Unlike a lot of other 21-year-olds in this sport, he's not coming off the top rope. He's not using fancy maneuvers that'll look good in a video. He sticks to the basics.
I love how he's trying to sell this baby faces. Yeah, he's not like other 21-year-olds. He doesn't do cool things that you all like to see. No, he stays on the ground. He's boring. I mean, he wasn't. But...
You fans can see exclusively on pay-per-view.
Hey, tell me the rumors aren't true that his daddy is going to interview Ric Flair tomorrow night on this 2-hour special main event.
It's not a rumor, it's fact. Two of the greatest rivals in the history of WCW.
Come on, Rick.
Face to face tomorrow on our special 2-hour broadcast.
What if number 2 was his last name, like all one word?
6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central. Here on TBS.
Well, Dusty Rhodes better be very careful what he says to Nature Boy Ric Flair, because, you know, Flair's not in a very good mood in present weeks. Hey, look how he jumped down my throat the other week. And I was trying to be nice to the guy. He's in a real foul mood.
Dustin controlling the action.
Who does number 2 work for? I assume the Porcelain Throne King.
Rhodes and Ric Flair. We will see a Titanic. Use that word twice. I've got to get off that. It's just such a big situation.
What do you think you're doing, ref?
Flying Brian will take on Ric Flair, Barry Windham, and Arn Anderson. That tomorrow, beginning at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central, right here on TBS.
Well, if it's going to be a Titanic 6-man tag team match, I'll ask you one question. Which team is going to
Magnum Force number 2 with the dope bicep tat of something vague that I'm sure has a lot of meaning to him and absolutely no one else.
Tomorrow night, our senior executive vice president, the guy that supervises all the decisions made, is going to be on the wrestling.
In case you didn't know, this is on TBS.
He's going to be in a hot debate with all these wrestling journalists.
Yeah, that's one thing Jim Herd did during this time point, is on the hotline, not the fun line, but the hotline, he would bring on like Wade Keller and Dave Meltzer and all them, and like just answer questions from them for a couple of hours on the hotline. And then the funniest part was they were charging like, what is it, $1.99 a minute for these things, and then like I think I know Keller did. I'm pretty sure Meltzer did it too. They would just record it on a cassette and sell the cassettes for like $5 each. Yes, Willow Nightingale, currently in charge of TBS. I love that tweet where she's like, where someone was like, you should get them to air the Family Matters episode with the election, and then it's on the next day.
Great Barry Windham-like lariat from Dustin Rhodes, and we may be getting ready to see the Bulldog here, Paul.
Well, if he hooks this, he has the match lock, stock, and barrel.
Dustin getting some momentum.
He hadn't quite figured out a smooth way to get into it yet. That's okay. He'll get there.
The Bulldog by the young man from Austin.
Yeah, Willow rules. I love Willow. Willow's great.
I'm going to try to get a word with Dustin here in a moment. Paul, why don't you take the play-by-play?
Oh, well, thank you so very much.
That is my
job anyway. Dustin Rhodes with a lariat a la
Is she the one? No, that's the true TV champion, Brian. I believe that is Aaron Solo.
Computer match at SuperBrawl. He's standing at ringside right now with, guess who?
That was funny.
Jim Ross.
Yeah, when James Avery showed up with
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with the natural, the undefeated natural.
that was funny.
Dustin Rhodes, and a couple of weeks ago, right on this
Yeah, I mean, I tweeted the screen cap of my mom's text when she saw her on the news last week. She loves Willow now.
And then last week on this same
I don't see how somebody could see Willow and not love Willow. Willow's the best.
Victory over Mr. Zbyszko and Terrence Taylor. But as we know, exclusively on pay-per-view on Super Sunday, May 19th,
Super Sunday.
In a computer match.
Isn't that a thing that the NFL has trademarked?
One-on-one. What are your thoughts about wrestling that great veteran?
Well, Mr. Ross, you know Terry Taylor, I've told you once, and I'm going to tell you York Foundation again. I know nothing about computers, and I never want to know anything about computers. You and me.
Spoken like a true boomer. I don't ever want to know anything about computers. They take your social security numbers.
You better come with them boots laced up, Daddy, because I'm coming to get you and prove to the whole world.
Yeah, the computer match.
And that computer of yours is not
Y'all's
the natural Dustin Rhodes.
Cajun?
Ricky Morton dropping by. It's going to be a great one. Exclusively on pay-per-view, Super Sunday.
There, Ricky Morton now dressed like casual dress, middle-aged lady. That would be funny if they had that World Championship Wrestling game that was already like really outdated. They did like Eddie Gilbert versus Animal, computer versus computer.
Introducing first from the Pacific Northwest, he weighs 275 pounds. Big John.
Maybe they'll do an Unreal tournament. Do a LAN party. Oh, that's sweet. Burba Bush is in the front row. Jim Corbett. Oh boy, I love this guy.
A couple of suits come up to me and tell me I'm going to be at SuperBrawl May 19th with the pay-per-view. What an opportunity for me! And they told me.
Oh, a couple of suits. I thought he said a couple of soups.
Funny guy, but I do not trust you. So May 19th is my night. Let's see you make something funny about that.
I thought he said he didn't trust the suits when they told him he was on the pay-per-view, and I'm like, it's a little on the nose that the guy that lives in the mountains is the conspiracy theorist. Big Josh nowadays would absolutely be like a militia dude out in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, he wasn't allowed to bring an axe out with them. They had to take the blade off. It's TBS. Superman and Superboy, yes. Couple soups.
Jim Corbett complaining that Big Josh pulled his hair. Didn't see that from our vantage point.
And Jim Corbett is my type of guy. I love the enhancement guys that like do like the deal where they think they're sexy.
Trying to go for a single leg takedown, and Big Josh shoves him away.
Oh my God, he does look like one of the Oak Ridge Boys. Yes, Brian. The one that just stuck around after the Wrestle War where they played randomly. Kind of like when Master P joined WCW and just like one of his cousins became a wrestler.
And where did he learn that wrestling maneuver?
Nice takedown, waistlock takedown by Big Josh. And Corbett quickly.
Matt Bourne was like a really good amateur wrestler And he got all these gimmicks where it was like weird for him to be a good wrestler, but he made it make sense somehow.
Interrupted by this guy's first wrestling maneuver ever. We'll have a lot of things to say about Big
And No Limit Soldiers, baby, 4x4. God, what was the 4x4 was the really big guy. Shit, what was the other guy's name? The tall one. I always remember Teddy Reed because Teddy Reed is like the biggest motherfucker I've ever seen in my life. Swole was the other one.
I don't think Corbett's going to muscle Big Josh around in this contest, and neither will Larry Zbyszko.
And Brad Armstrong was BA, so they could have somebody that could actually wrestle a match. Jeez.
Josh retaliates, much to Corbett's chagrin.
Does he want to work? You want to work? You want to fight? You want to work? You want to fight?
Corbett's doing a smart thing. He's backing off outside the ring because you can't pin or make your opponent submit on the outside of the ring. Now, why is this guy mingling with the fans?
What if this kid like spit in Big Josh's face and it turns out it was Jim Corbett's son? That should be like a heel turn somebody does someday. Like a baby face is like, oh hey look, it's a kid, and the kid like ends up being like just a really short adult. AEW, there's Big Swole that was in AEW. I think there's another Big Swole working the Indies now.
I would assume that would have something to do with it. He likes the fans.
So many people named Swole.
Well, my question, another question to you: why not?
You're gonna hit this poor guy that's getting $250 to wrestle like 5 matches at this tape. I'm gonna hit him with a child.
I'll debate it with you.
Big Josh, very methodical, but I think that the one thing he'll go into this match with Larry Zbyszko at the disadvantage. I think he'll be the underdog there, believe it or not. It's my opinion, because of Zbyszko's great ring.
Why not a child on a pole match? I imagine we're getting a Chuck Taylor on a pole match soon in AEW.
Because Zbyszko is very intelligent and Big Jerk is really stupid.
I think it's a matter of experience.
Kiss, kiss, kiss.
Intelligence. They're not going to be taking an SAT test or a college board exam or anything.
Doesn't matter if they're going to be taking one, because Zbyszko would beat him at that one too. Zbyszko's a much smarter wrestler than Big Jerk, and he's going to beat him handily at SuperBrawl.
Yeah, I don't think it's legal to just strangle a guy.
Fans still to come in our first hour. Big Ron Simmons is here. We'll also see the Steiner Brothers.
What about Little Ron Simmons? Will Little Ron Simmons be there?
Of course, the Steiners will take on Sting.
I hope they put Dom on a pole. That'd be great.
Ron Simmons meets Hacksaw Butch Reed in a Thunder Doom cage match at SuperBrawl.
I still can't believe they called it a Thunder Doom match. Oh, another big boot. That big boot was deadly.
Now wait a minute, he cannot use that stick in the ring.
Well, if he makes contact,
He can't use that axe with no blade. I'm gonna bruise.
If he hits him with that stick at the
Oh gosh.
contact and Excedrin and Anderson. What's he doing here? Log rolling.
That's a good, but you can strangle somebody for, I think it's 4.9 seconds. If you hit that 5th second, you gotta disqualify him.
I don't do it. You can go blind doing that.
Paul.
left forearm, shot it right in there.
Can't say those things.
Big Josh and Larry Zbyszko. There's a double axe handle.
Why is this match still happening? Okay, it's about to end. That's it, baby. We've had so many wrestlers wearing suspenders on this week's stream. Kevin Sullivan, Big Josh, that one guy, what was it, Jim Gordon, Rob Morgan. Rob Morgan wore suspenders. I think Little Omos would just be like a cruiserweight.
I think he's here he comes. Wham! Unbelievable.
Wham! WLC match is one of the, I'm not joking, one of the best pay-per-view matches WWE put on in that era. Like, those dudes were given nothing, and they went out there and had like the miracle match of miracle matches.
Is done. The
And then they fucking fired Drew McIntyre like the next
World
week.
Championship Wrestling right to your door by subscribing to the Wrestling Wrap-Up. Act now and get a year's subscription to wrestling's most informative news monthly.
Is it little almost just Apollo Crews?
That's more than
Yes.
50% off the cover price. The Wrestling Wrap-Up is not available in stores, so subscribe now by calling 404-827-4048 to charge.
Hello, stranger. I'd like to give you my MasterCard information.
To the Wrestling Wrap-Up.
SuperBrawl 91, and then a bunch of little tiny font about how to order it. You don't need to know how to order it, just fucking do it. Bow, bow, down, bow. Welcome to the Ron Simmons Talk Show. Yes, this week includes Sinbad, Keenan Ivory Wayans, and musical guest Color Me Bad.
Taking over on Big Ron Simmons.
Oh, jeez. His head bounced. This dude looks like the rejected young pistol. Oh, you're talking my language. I am a fly guy, Teddy. Me and Teddy, same brainwave. I am no cracker player. Yeah, that pile driver fucking ruled. The first time, like when we switched to a box where you could just click on the pay-per-view channel and order it, you might as well have shown me magic. My reaction was the same as when the cavemen first saw fire. But it's a sorcery. Oh, jeez. What a power slam. Taylor Dane. Damn, I wish I was your lover. Look at Ron. What a beast.
Hacksaw Butch Reed, his former partner. Ron Simmons, nose to nose.
Yeah, but how can he have his mind on Thunder?
Yeah, Ron Simmons started the match with the sickest pile driver I've ever seen and just kept going. Oh my gosh.
Right on the floor, outside the ring.
Guy. He won't be able to bartend after the show. That's right, that was Sophie B. Hawkins. A whole Community episode and everything.
I don't think there's anything that's going to prevent Ron Simmons from being 100% come Super Sunday, May 19th on pay-per-view.
Oh my god, that guy. Okay, now I see why Ron's fucking with him. He's not trained.
And all the wrestling so-called journalists. First of all, I don't know how it could be a debate between journalists and Jim Herd if I'm not invited because I am wrestling.
That reminds me, I keep meaning to DM Truth Magnum, friend of the account. Oh my gosh. He really should come out to that song, I Get Weak. I think the Outrunners coming out to I Get Weak would be like, and I think Tony could probably get it for like $50. Oh.
That's why somebody needs to confront Jim Herd about this guy.
I don't know if he pissed off Ron or if Ron just found out that this guy's not trained. Oh my gosh.
Him right through the mat. Something needs to be done about Ron Simmons.
That's SuperBrawl. It'll be Sting and Lex Luger versus the Steiners for the World Tag Team title. We'll see the champs right after this.
The champs, or the chimps. See the chimps. See King Kong. And that monkey from Dunstan checks in.
The following tag team event, it is set for one fall. Introducing first.
Oh no, I was talking about the not the Taylor Dane song, the Belinda Carlisle song, I Get Weak. There we go. Yeah, this is the point where they were just the tag team champions everywhere.
Rick Steiner, Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers.
So their opponents, one of them is Pat Rose. They're not gonna hurt him. And Joe Cruz, I've heard of both these guys. They're not gonna be that rough to them. It's a shame. If you, my theory on the Steiner Brothers, their old squashes, is if you've heard of the enhancement guys, it probably won't be that rough. But if it's guys that just did the one show and were gone, they were gonna get hurt. Ron did not do the brawl for all. His knees were all messed up from football by that point.
What's it gonna be like when they feel the rack, when they feel the scorpion? We'll find out soon.
I love Sting's all painted up, shirtless, in Sting form, and then Lex is just wearing a polo, like he's going to the office for the day.
A tandem. Quite often in recent weeks, we'll see them on this broadcast. That's going to be a...
Yeah, see, they're just gonna like hip toss Pat Rose, maybe an arm drag. They're gonna treat him well, because they respect him. That guy that wrestled Ron Simmons is really lucky he didn't get this match. Like, Pat Rose is even getting offense in on the Steiners.
Should be a great scientific event. I think it will be. Pat Rose missed that clothesline.
You know, get a back body drop. Nothing too rough. Yes, pre-Jack and Sucka's Sting. Yes. Up Northern Lights suplex. Yeah, Pat Rose was a little fella. One of his relatives commented on one of my YouTube shorts and was offended that in the title I used the phrase jobber. But like I explained to him, unfortunately, I don't like the term jobber, but the YouTube algorithm reacts much better to the phrase jobber than enhancement wrestler in a title. So I have to use jobber. It sucks.
Scotty Steiner trying to get him up on his shoulders. Oh, man.
Yeah, this is the one move. Like, how did Scott think to start doing this? Like, how do you come up with a move like that? Especially in that era.
He's not just dropping this guy, he's driving him right through the mat.
I hope Joe Cruz does a Frankensteiner in this match. Like he stole the Stinger Splash. Oh, there we go.
Another takedown by Scott Steiner.
Yeah, YouTube, if you title a video like Journeyman, 10 hits, 20 views. Jobber, like thousands. A jobber shoots on Enzo Amore, 1 billion views automatically.
Everybody wanted a rematch at SuperBrawl 91. And the team that got it is Sting and Luger, and I can't wait to see the four of these guys beat the what out of each other.
He made a weird, like, karate noise. He threw that punch. Oh, he's gonna get killed for that. Ric's like, I have to break you now.
And notice how Steiner just bullied his way right through Cruz like a locomotive.
Yeah, Shoots has to be in all caps on YouTube.
Oh, here comes.
Oh, like one of my most viewed videos is just a Steiner Brothers squash from one of these streams. I just titled it Scott Steiner Kills Jobber. And like that night it got like over 1,000 views. Scott Steiner with a random ass drop kick. That's really good. Yeah, the Steiner grind. Apparently that's the thing that Will Ospreay didn't want to do. That's why I signed with AEW, according to Paul Levesque.
All four with one singular thought on their mind, and that is to leave the ring as the WCW
Scott Steiner wearing a old lady's lingerie as his singlet. Fonzie's like, get off the throat. He's nowhere near the throat. He's like rubbing his eyes.
I don't think his attention span is really long.
Oh no, what are they going to do to this poor guy?
Tag is made. Fans here ready.
Oh, this is the one where they don't like you. Oh, you get the DDT off the top. Oh, hey Baron Von Raschke. You want to see some horny YouTube commenters? Go find some old Warlord squash matches where he does like the bear hug. Oh boy. Practically porn to some people.
Rick and Scott Steiner, the Steiner Brothers, the World Tag Team Champions, the most popular tag team in the history of World.
And Pat Rose frickin' sat up from that ridiculous slam off the top rope.
Most popular singles competitors in the history of World Championship Wrestling. It's coming your way at SuperBrawl 91.
Fans, when we come back,
Like that DDT is ridiculous. Like that would be like super death finisher nowadays. They were just doing that shit like in 1990, 1991. In the Wrestling Hotline, no fun zone. And that old woman behind Missy is glaring at her. Like she's just half-ass booing Nikita, but she is giving Missy the dirtiest look. That was something.
I was in the match. I heard the referee count 1, 2, 3. But you know what? I don't care.
Yeah, no, Warlord gets a lot of horny comments. Stephen Dane, Chaz from the GWF. Those are the guys that the wrestling fetish dudes are into.
You know what, Lex Luger? One thing's for sure. Maybe I don't have the belt around my waist.
Speaking of a fun zone.
Well, you, Lex Luger, don't have the belt around your waist either.
Around your waist.
When it's all said and done, Lex Luger, the show will stop. When it's all said and done, the people are going.
I am impressed Nikita figured out how to gargle while he was talking.
Not only am I going to break your
That's a good point, Boxes with God. He's been in America for 10 years. All of his co-workers have spoken English. You'd think he would have picked up some adverbs.
Introducing the new Wrestling Hotline.
Yeah, to me, like, a hot guy is like, I don't know, like, Jay Baruchel? Like, I don't know. The skinny, dorky fella? Like, that's what I think is a hot guy.
Kids 18 and under obtain your parents' permission before calling 1-900-909-9900. Dial it.
The following contest is a special 6-man tag
This.
team
Oh,
bout.
Introducing first. Oh, the Junkyard Dog. Oh, the 6-man tag champs. That's right. That's time. This team was the 6-man tag team champions of WCW. People are upset about like how the AEW trios belts have been booked. At least like teams have held them. It'd be like if the AEW tag champs were like, I don't know, I'm trying to like Dustin Rhodes, Nick Camarado, and Marco Stunt. Mike Thor, Randy Tatum, Greg Sawyer, the recently departed.
Well, Paul, interesting comments from Nikita Koloff.
Bone chilling.
They didn't have belts. And they got belts a little later on just to drop them to the York Foundation, because the York Foundation had belts. But yeah, there was absolutely a period where they just didn't have trios titles, or 6-man tag titles.
He may find himself in some hot water for the official.
Yeah, Rich and Morton makes sense. But like them and JYD. Oh yeah, this would have been like the hottest team in like 1986. There was also the time around this time the York Foundation was feuding with it was Tom Zink, Dustin Rhodes, and Big Josh for the 6-man tag title.
Big, powerful man, one third of
And yeah, you brought up a good point, Vinny Lax. They've paired Ricky Morton with Dustin Rhodes the rest of the time. And he's just like, oh, he's in a trio with these guys also. Those WCW Cruiserweight tag belts you bring up, Boxes with God, those are the ugliest belts I've ever seen. Those literally look like they just nailed license plates onto leather straps. Sylvester Ritter in the York Foundation. That is a great idea, Scuffle and Hillbilly. Like, yeah, the Cruiserweight tag titles were something they came up with an idea for. And like halfway through the tournament, they're like, shit, we don't have belts. Hey, Sir Lawrence. Yeah, Ricky Morton, the polyamorous trios wrestler. By the way, shout out to my SSRI gang. Taking him a little later because I took my pill right at 10 last week. And I'm gonna be real, I don't remember the last 15 minutes of the stream last week. I was fucked up. Like, I went back and watched it to clip something, and I don't know if anybody else could tell, I was bad at the end of that stream last week because the pill had set in. My eyes were like half open, if that. That was my Shawn Michaels in '97 stream. They had to have started that tournament without the belts being made. Because those belts, if they let somebody spend time making those Cruiserweight tag belts, they suck at making belts.
You notice that the JYD is not scheduled to be at SuperBrawl.
Yeah, my Matt Hardy or Jeff Hardy victory road. I just sent Eric Bischoff in here to whisper to me, Scorpion Death Drop, 1, 2, 3, get out.
We'll certainly be fans will be with us tomorrow night. 2 hours, beginning at 6:05 Eastern, 5:05 Central here on TV.
Yeah, they do. They look like they just sent enough. They hired some prisoners. Like, they reach out to the county jail. Hey, we need championship title belts in like a week. Mike Thor looks like, kind of like Joe Cruz looks like the Outlaw Territory Magnum TA. Mike Thor looks like the Outlaw Territory Tommy Rich. Yeah, Tommy Rich has like the baby blues this week. It means he's about to get fired from the WWF. Oh, jeez. He almost went through the ropes. Yeah, if you've never heard, Honky Tonk Man has this theory. And it, like, if you go back and watch, like 90s WWF, it's pretty true that if a babyface starts wearing baby blue trunks, they're on their way out. It's like a weird Vince thing.
Double team offense by Morton and Rich on Greg Sawyer.
Yeah, but you see, Morton's not going to have a partner at SuperBrawl against Big Bad Dan, the left-hand man, Dan Spivey, and I think that's going to be to Spivey's big-time advantage at SuperBrawl.
Fans, if there are questions you would like to ask the head man of WCW, Executive Vice President Jim Hurd, he'll be involved in a debate of sorts with many of the nation's leading wrestling writers. That will be in less than 1 hour on the Wrestling Hotline. 8:05 Eastern is the start of that hotline tonight.
Ooh, JYD with a hold. Doing a hold. Hey, Henry, welcome. You ray of sunshine. Just in time to watch JYD. Tommy Rich and Ricky Morton have a weird team.
On Greg Sawyer. Junkyard Dog certainly provides the mass and the power for this trio that currently hold the WCW World Six-Man Tag Team Championship.
Yeah, this match has gone on approximately 70 minutes at this point.
Right before we went on the air, he is really pumped. He and Barry Windham.
Like, why do they need to do this many moves?
Right here on this broadcast.
Oh, he's going to really need to get that adrenaline flowing because he is going to be fighting for his life against Barry.
JYD with a hold must be out of breath.
And addition to the special locker room danger zone, Sid Vicious is here. Lex Luger and Sting will be here as well in tag team action. Plus, I will speak to Ric Flair about his rematch with Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. Tommy Rich sending Randy Tatum for the ride. Tatum, big rangy athlete. Tommy Rich beating him to the offense here. Nice suplex.
The audio go out for anybody else? I can't hear the video at all, but I can hear myself.
JYD looking for that big thump. Great right hand by the dog. And as Paul mentioned, tomorrow night on our big special 2-hour broadcast.
Nope, it's been consistent. Okay, I'll just keep it going then. We'll have a fun stream where I'll just have to guess what they're talking about. Because I cannot hear the audio for the video whatsoever, but I can hear myself. Okay, so if it's good for you guys, I'm not going to mess with it. We're just going to comment on the action.
What a program. 2 hours tomorrow night at 6:05 Eastern.
Why is this match still going?
See, that shows how selfish a JYD is. Just because he has a hard
We talked before about football.
Another lateral press, and again, Tatum barely kicking out. Tommy with the arm bar.
Tatum's a tough athlete. He's taking a lot of punishment. He takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
There's another tag. Ricky Morton with the martial arts blow. I'll tell you, Ricky's one of the quickest athletes in WCW, and he's going to have to really be this all-time.
Yeah, you guys, you could totally fuck with me right now about whatever they're talking about. And I wouldn't know any better. Or Eddie Vedder, for that while. Oh, jeez, drove him on his head. Eee.
Morton's only hope of survival at SuperBrawl is to use the quickness to his advantage and avoid...
Like, who didn't show up to the TV taping? That this match is going so damn long.
Ricky Morton now working on the arm again. Randy Tatum tags in Tommy Wildfire Rich. A lot of quick tags in very short intervals by our six-man tag team champions, and they allowed Randy Tatum to make the tag. Stocky Greg Sawyer back in.
And that could have been a mistake because Sawyer has a great amateur background.
Got a side headlock right now on Tommy Wildfire Rich. Look forward to seeing the fans tonight. Big WCW event in Jekyll Island, Georgia. Lateral press, Tommy in. Can't quite find that pinning combination. Tags in the power man again.
Alright. I had to fix something that's not going to get fixed.
Double elbows by Rich and JYD.
Once again, an illegal
So yeah, this is going to be an awkward rest of the episode. But I'm here with you.
Both men are certainly aware of the referee's count, and Mike Thor says, I want the jump.
Mike Thor's talking some shit. Who knows what he's saying? Yeah, I tried to fix something and it screwed up the frame rate for a second, but I think we got it back.
And I think the JYD might be in trouble here because Thor is a very...
Mike Thor's face.
JY retaliates. Big right to left.
Ooh.
There's a clothesline by the junkyard dog. And Mike Thor rolls out of bounds. And Ricky Morton says, get right back in there and take your medicine.
I'm just baffled as to why they haven't done a finish.
And again, it's almost like a lumberjack match. One-man lumberjack.
Like, instead of waterboarding, they're just going to start showing prisoners of war this match. That would be so funny if they just rolled credit. Like, we ran out of time. This match was so intense. They're repeating spots. Like referee Vinny Lack said, they just keep resetting. Going back to the one-on-one equal ground. Like Tommy Rich wrestled. God, who did he wrestle earlier? Wrestled another star and it only went like a minute. I think we might be getting a finish. Old school head scissors. Oh, dropped him on his head. 2 and 3. Whoa. Ricky Morton, Junkyard Dog, and Tommy Rich just won a 2.5-hour match. One of the most grueling matches in the history of the WCW World 6-Man Tag Team titles. Flying body press. Yeah, Junkyard Dog was sweating his ass off, and he really was just standing in the corner for most of it. Yeah, Ricky Morton was like, we have to end this. And he does like a head scissors driver. That looked awesome. Yeah, they weren't given a time. It was just go do moves for a bit. Yeah, that match would definitely not be talked about on the Wrestling Fun line. Talked about on the Wrestling Hotline, however.
This is Paul E. Dangerously in the danger zone.
Right, we're backstage. I think this is at the Meadowlands. Again, Paul probably just said where they're at. I don't know the wiser.
I have never seen before in a town where violence is a way of life. I've never seen brutality.
Oh, Drew Bug. The sweat was from the 5 lines of coke he did before the match.
Mr. Luger, I have
oh, JYD.
an official pushed around before, but never have I seen one smacked with a chain. Do you know what kind of reprimand is going to come down on you?
Reprimands? Let's talk about reprimands. Where was the reprimand for Nikita?
Luger's yelling. Again, cannot hear him. Sure, it's enlightening. I saw WCW. Tried to read lips. Okay, he did say the Meadowlands. Okay, I was right there. He's talking about the 6-man tag. That was the longest fucking match I've ever seen. I think he said he was gonna kick somebody's butt. Here comes Sid. Hell yeah. Oh, my sound just came back. All right. My sound just came back, and all I hear is 9 inches. I would have guessed so for Sid. Yeah, the hotline, you have to get your parents' permission. That's right, Midnight Feller, because... Oh, poor Lynn Fields. Poor Lynn Fields. Lynn Fields is like someone's dad. It's like, I don't know, Mike Thor's dad that came to visit, and they're like, you want to wrestle? Yeah, Sid fixed my audio. My new producer, Sid Vicious. Oh no, this guy is also not trained. But unlike the Steiners, Sid like doesn't... Oh! I just blew out everybody's speakers. That sucked for that dude. Oh no.
He is a power wrestler. He is sadistic.
You know, I'll admit that Elegante is taller and that he weighs more, but being a giant means you need to be a...
Oh no, this guy is just hanging off of Sid. Oh geez, that's a bruise. That's a bruise. Like Lynn Fields, that name even sounds like he's like a doctor or an attorney, or not even attorney, like a, I don't know, like a author.
SuperBrawl 91 on a stretcher. It's going to take a huge stretcher.
Oh yeah, Sid is the prototype of a pro wrestler, Commodore Amigo. Like if you were to make a wrestler out of clay, it would be Sid Vicious. Oh gosh, oh that had to suck to take. At least he landed flat. That's the best thing you can say about that. Sid's like, I don't even want to pin him. What if he just got a cue from the back? Hey, the 6-man didn't go long enough. We need more out of you and Lynn. Sid rules. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I love Sid.
Indeed it is, Big Sid. That is it.
Like, when people shit talk Sid, I'm like, listen, I know he's an irresponsible adult who can't actually get on an airplane to make a booking, but he rules and he does stuff like that. Winfield small engine repair. I always love how the medics they use, quote unquote, for these spots were just the guys in the last match. Elegante and Sid wasn't really much of a match, Henry. Like, I don't even think it went a minute. Elegante just kind of quickly pinned Sid and then Sid, oh, he landed on his head. Oh, Lynn. I love how they were like, this guy, we don't even know if he knows how to bump. Let's have him take a bump off of a stretcher with wheels. Off of a gurney. That Lynn Fields was, yeah, I'm not sure what year it would say on his tombstone, but
Jim Ross back at ringside, as we have learned in this broadcast. On Super Sunday, May 19th, a rematch has been signed for the WCW World's Heavyweight Championship. The man recognized by WCW is the legendary Nature Boy Ric Flair. But a man that also has earned legendary status in his own country is Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami. The Japanese press and officials fully believe that Fujinami is the world's heavyweight champion.
Sid gave no fucks. And neither did whoever put Lynn Fields' name on the board against Sid. Oh, I thought they were blurring Flair because, like, couldn't, like, air this match. No, he's bleeding. You can't air blood on TBS at this point. So you just put a circle over his face? That just makes you think he has, like, a dick growing off of his nose. On to Bill Alfonso and, like, dudes wearing sweet jackets. Lynn Fields, I'm not surprised Lynn Fields doesn't have a cage match profile. They typically don't put up cage match profiles for people who died in their first match. Like, the black dot just makes it look like there's something lewd. Yeah, why even air the footage at that point?
Contested under WCW rules, meaning that a man that throws his opponent over the top rope should be
Commodore Amigo. Someone told TBS that Flair was a dickhead, so they had to censor him. Winfields work Smoky Mountain. Wow.
Well, Ric Flair interrupted that press conference and took back the championship belt. Now, the referee of record did not make the 1, 2, 3 count. So the way that we see it,
love that mic that Jim Ross has.
Ric Flair, because of that disqualification,
I can't help but think that that microphone got used by Ric Flair after the show. His various exports.
Oh my goodness. We got big problems here.
I would love to own one of those Starrcade 91 in the Tokyo Dome jackets. They make you look like a baked potato, but they're great.
Throw Flair over the top rope. The match should have stopped at that point. The pin should never have counted. But to settle the big dispute, it will be on.
I think the guy standing behind Jim Ross and Paul Lee in the yellow tank top, I think he was one of the medics.
Right after this timeout.
That would have been funny if he still had the black dot. If he comes out and he still has the black dot on his face. That would be great.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to World Championship Wrestling. Jim Ross here at ringside and making his way to ringside. The WCW World's Heavyweight Champion, as has been announced. It will be a rematch to
All right, Wrestling Data does have a profile for Lynn Fields.
Japanese and many fans feel that Tatsumi the Dragon Fujinami is the rightful WCW champion. That's not the way we see it. It will be a rematch at SuperBrawl.
It's funny that they gave Mike Rotunda the yacht captain gimmick, like the year before this, because Ric Flair is really rocking the yacht captain look here. Lynn Cookie Fields Jr. Why the fuck didn't they call him Cookie? That is the best wrestling name. Lynn Fields, bad wrestling name. Lynn Cookie Fields Jr., best wrestling name. Yeah, Ric Flair looks like he's gonna buy your summer camp and shut it down unless you stinking kids raise $10,000 in the next week. Flair looking like he's running for Congress as a centrist Republican. Flair just looks like he's got the same haircut as Missy. Maybe they put the dot over his head because of his hair. He tried to do the sing-along thing, but he's not mic'd on the PA, so nobody could hear him. It's very awkward.
To the occasion, fujinami, ask Luger what it's like. Ask Sting what it's like.
Probably can't. They don't speak the same language.
Knowing you got to face the man. Woo!
Fans that event on Super Sunday, May 19th, to settle the international dispute for the World's Heavyweight Championship. Flair and Fujinami will talk more about it, and we'll return to the ring. But first, listen to this.
Sunday,
listen to this.
History will be made as World Championship Wrestling presents SuperBrawl Sunday. Bring the action home live May 19th, only on pay-per-view.
Here we go. Brian blah blah Blurian. Flying Brian in the weird blue cheetah print tights or Bengal print tights.
On a vendetta. His motivation very simple. It's revenge. He wants to put Barry Windham away.
Okay, the orange made sense. The blue's just weird.
On the main event here on TBS in just the last few weeks.
Yeah, but revenge is a dish best served cold, and Flying Brian is way too hot tonight to take on Barry Windham.
Tell us how you really feel, Paul. Ooh, Brian Pillman and Barry Windham. One of those good matches. Not wearing his sunglasses. He's recovered from the hangover. He's had some water.
Two men firmly entrenched in the top 10 in the WCW World Rankings. Two men that have a total disdain for each other.
As opposed to a partial disdain. Hey, Mr. Bluestein. Welcome your time for what I believe is the main event.
SuperBrawl loaded with championships, young pistols, and birds to the U.S. title.
Again, the white turnbuckle covers, the pads are just throwing me off.
Sunday as well as Flying Brian. Oh, he slapped him in the face. What an insulting gesture.
It's not LaGrange. It's the closest possible ripoff of LaGrange. Like, maybe one note off. So yeah, it's not a licensed song, but it might as well be. Yeah, these are the good days for Jim Ross. The six-man, it's like that Blackcraft show at that WrestleMania weekend. Like the title match went 10 seconds.
Slow it down. That's what Windham's trying to do, it would seem.
So in other words, it's a smart game plan by Barry Windham.
Yes, I would say so. Knowing who he's wrestling and the temperament of Flying Brian.
I always love a good Greco-Roman knuckle lock.
Hammers on the neck of Flying Brian.
Did his contact fall out? That was weird.
Does one thing at a time, and he does it very, very well. Very viciously. Everything he does is with precision.
I was gonna say everybody's doing pile drivers at the beginning of their matches. Just FYI, we will be going a little bit over the top of the hour. My apologies. I try to normally keep these at 2 hours, but a little bit over the top. Winner takes it all, loser takes the fall, etc. So there's some folks that still do the back rakes. The Bucks do back rakes. John Moxley does a top rope back rake. Oh, he always does it right into the weird corner cam too.
Who we heard from a little bit earlier in the broadcast, assigned this very serious.
Now leave the tape machines rolling for the YouTube archive.
And it turns that quickly. And
Brian just like grabbed his dick there for no reason.
270 some odd pounds goes to the top rope.
And Pillman with a drop kick.
Oh, Barry took a tumble to the outside. No, you the man, Cage and Jungle Tiger. I'm just the guy that plays the footage. You all are the heroes.
Caught Windham right in the face. He caught Windham right in the face.
He's not trying to beat Barry Windham. He's trying to maim him.
Trying to maim him with a double axe handle?
Has more intestinal fortitude.
You know, all those double axe handles that maimed people?
From Cincinnati, Ohio.
Oh, hey, I told you this week after week. He's not like Bo Jackson. Oh, a little injury and oh, I can't wrestle anymore. This kid comes right back fighting, and he's right in Barry Windham's face.
It was Flying Brian who sustained.
Yeah, I should do that one week. Do an overrun and then pay somebody to come in an NWO shirt and like lay me out. Then roll the credits.
Were as intense a 5 minutes as I have ever witnessed in my broadcast career. And Windham just found his
Yes, Erotic Eric Fontaine is the reason for the season.
Of the handsome youngster, so full of grit.
Thank you, Henry. I appreciate the kind words a lot. You're always there with a positive word. That's what I love about you. That and the puns.
Oh, he went for the drop kick. He didn't find his mark. And now Windham has reasserted himself offensively.
Also, I believe next week we do have commercials back. So I know we have a lot of fans of commercials in the house.
Nice late frog by Flying Brian.
Oh, Flapjack.
Right down on his face. Windham took him up and brought him down. That was a great adjustment. Great counter wrestling by Barry Windham.
And notice now, Barry takes his time. He thinks his game plan through, and watch how he slowly but surely dissects.
Yeah, if you want to clip it for me, yeah.
Flying Brian without his.
Oh, brainbuster! Yeah, we have commercials back next week. We'll be going to the year 1994 for some WCW Worldwide at Disney MGM.
That brace that he wears from time to time. He hopes to be through with that piece of protective equipment. Oh.
Yes, of course. All right, referee Vinny Lex, get some sleep. I'll be in Dreamland soon myself. Have a good one. Thank you so much for coming out, Vinny. See you soon. Yeah, that is one of the fun part about the old commercials. It's like, here's a car for $1,000.
Doesn't seem like he's too remorseful about it either.
It is wild. Like, so these two feuded for like 6 months, I feel like, in 1991. I'm pretty sure this is the longest televised match they had. Because, like, the Clash of the Champions match, where Pillman gets suspended, goes like 3 minutes. I'm pretty sure the SuperBrawl match only goes like 4 or 5 minutes.
Put into words how I feel about this young man's intestinal fortitude, about his desire to not.
Oh, I thought Jim Ross was gonna like admit love. Cannot put into words how I feel about this man. I must put it into song.
Not only top 10 but top 5 competitors in WCW.
And notice how Barry.
Somebody's dying in the background. My wife's just dropping stuff.
Well, he can't reach the ropes, but Windham can.
Oh, those weird milk commercials were trying to sell sex to children. And they think the drag queens are what's perverting the kids these days. No, it's the milk commercials from 1994.
Fans, as we mentioned, on Super Sunday, May 19th, Flair and Fujinami for the world title. Steiner Steiners versus Luger and Sting for the tag.
Barry's very casual, draping that leg on the top rope there. Like, how did Alfonso not see that?
Just to name a few, including
Went to the Nick Patrick School of Officiating.
in the stretcher match.
Yeah, and Barry Windham's going to need to find a new opponent because he's going to put Flying Brian away for good tonight.
Pillman coming back, driving his head into the jaw of Barry Windham. But how much does Pillman have left?
Milk in the Four Horsemen Performance Center system, aka powdered tablets.
Pillman right there, giving Barry another moment to catch his breath.
Rake of the eyes by Windham. Another chop. This kid just will not quit. Oh, he's got that thumb in the eye.
He's not even trying to, like, be sneaky about it.
Windham got him with a lariat.
Like, you have to hide that from the referee, otherwise it looks stupid.
Found its mark, and this may be all for Flying Brian. 1, 2, and he got the shoulder up.
Barry Windham was practically under the bottom rope on that pin. Come on, buddy. You know better. You're Barry Windham.
Don't hurt me anymore.
Spinning karate kick.
That last right hand by Barry Windham has caused a laceration above the eye of Flying Brian. There's a clothesline.
This is Jim Ross's element right here. A real good babyface comeback. Crowd's into it. That's when Jim Ross is at its best. Gonna go climb the white turnbuckles. Yeah, back in the day, anything that wasn't just a front toe kick was a karate kick. Or a savate kick, which doesn't exist anymore. At least until Eric Bischoff got control of WCW. And then he's like, motherfuckers, I know karate. Well, the baby blues on Arn Anderson. Really bringing out his skin tone. Oh, the crowd's about to jump the rail. Those baby blues look good on Arn. They're throwing popcorn in the ring. Oh my. This is a hot heat angle. Was Bobby Eaton to win a major title, maybe the World TV title, I don't know. Leg drop off the top rope, 1, 2, 3. At least that's what Bobby said he was going to do. Front leg, front side leg double round front kick. That's how Eric Bischoff would call an MMA fight. He wouldn't know any of the jiu-jitsu, any of the wrestling, but he would know how to call the kicks. Yeah, Brian is bleeding a little bit. And the hair was hiding it, and then Bobby's like, nope, we got to show that to the camera. See, we got to do what they did in Japan for a while. Like they did it when Vader beat Inoki. I think it was Inoki. Where they had like seat cushions. Like these lightweight little seat cushions that they threw into the ring. Nobody got hurt. It looked really cool. Yeah, Bobby Eaton ruled. Just couldn't talk. Listen to this crowd. Going wild for Sting. Sting and Lug. Jeff Stone looking like he's about ready to go fight Popeye on a ship. Lou Fabiano, owner of the weirdest back hair I've ever seen. It's a shame MMA has ruined announcers just being able to call things whatever the fuck they want.
Not us, think you are. SuperBrawl 1991. We're gonna take your head off.
My earbud just went out again, so I did not hear a damn thing Scott Steiner just said. I assume it was nothing bad.
Video feature on Lex Luger and Sting and the Steiners. I think you're going to find most heartwarming and most interesting. That special feature debuts right here next Saturday.
It is wild that Jeff Stone and Lex Luger both had the same job.
Fabiano, and that's no small task because I know Fabiano for years. Hey, he beat up Guido 5
Come to Shoney's or find your old lady.
Fans, don't forget tomorrow night, Sting will be with El Gigante and Flying Brian.
I can't hear you.
To take on Barry Windham, Arn Anderson, and the Nature Boy.
That old lady's about to jump the rail.
Part of our big 2-hour broadcast.
Gonna kick Missy's ass, even though she's not out there.
And the one-man gang. Dusty Rhodes face to face.
Things looking at Lou Fabiano like, don't touch me with your fur, buddy. Fabiano is a bottom-heavy fella. He's got some burthen hips on him. Gotta say. Now Jeff Stone's in the ring. Looking like Rochester Roadblock's dad. He pulled down Sting by the nub.
Will be on the hot seat with some of America's leading wrestling journalists.
Sting, I think that's illegal. I'm pretty sure that's illegal, buddy. It's gotta be. Oh, Snapmare with the goatee. Oh.
With the animalistic brawling tactics of the Steiner Brothers and
Fabiano's like, it's alright, buddy. You can touch my butt after the match. It's voluptuous.
Animalistic, but they are fair. They're not going to break the rules. I don't think the Sting.
Oh, that's very nice.
Will break the rules either. It should be a great
Lex is a fan of the streams. Yeah, you can watch Off the Grid too, Sunday at 8. Gonna be watching the American Wrestling Federation. Real weird stuff. So come on out Sunday at 8, Off the Grid. He does look like a little itty bitty John Studd. Here we go. It's no Joe Cruz splash, but it'll have to do.
The Steiner line versus the Rat. What will happen on Super Sunday? What's happening here is that
there we go. Sting and Luger get the win over the trio of Jeff Stone, Lou Fabiano, and his giant ass.
It will be a pay-per-view exclusive on Super
Yeah, pay-per-view exclusive. I love how Sting's looking at these kids winning a high five like, what? What is this alien hand thing you want to do with me?
The immovable object. Sunday, May 19th, SuperBrawl 91.
There we go.
Lex Luger take on the World Tag Team Champions, Rick and Scott,
Bow, bow.
the Steiner Brothers.
Bow. There we go, Sting. Yes, May 19th. Kane would crawl out of Lou Fabiano's ass. I thought Paulie had a dog with him like Mongo for a second.
Plus, he will speak to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and I'm sure what they're going to talk about. It's what's going to happen.
Hey, Incident 73.
Sunday. It's going to be a great event. Flair and fujinami for the title.
Broken his phone, as one does.
Show you Ric Flair taking back his belt. Oh my God.
We just saw this 20 minutes ago. That's mine for life. Alright. That does it. Another week in the can. Thank you so much, everybody, for sticking with me past the top of the hour tonight for WCW Deep Cuts Live. Again, I am back this Sunday, 8 p.m. Eastern, for the some more American Wrestling Federation. We'll be watching a couple episodes of that big old mess. And then I'm back here next Tuesday as well at 9 p.m. So I'm on YouTube and Twitch Sunday at 8. Then I'm back here next Tuesday at 9 for WCW Deep Cuts Live. Watching some more WCW Worldwide from April 1994. We got through it. Thank you all so much. You all are the best. The Erotic Eric Fontaine Fan Club, aka the chat, got us through it. Another Tuesday in the books. And like I always say, let's just try to make it to next Tuesday. Even if you don't make it here, listen, I understand. Life happens. I'm done. I don't take it personally. But just make it to next Tuesday. 7 days. That's all I'm asking. Again, this is WCW Deep Cuts Live. I'm Tom Green. And I'll see ya on Sunday.
Now, Paul, I can understand this overwhelming response to a certain extent because, well, I've had a few crushes myself.